Welcome back, David Viscott. There's so many great calls here.
And I'm afraid we're not going to have time for all of them, but let's at least try to talk to Annette and Robby. They're on line number 10, a married couple with some serious problems.
Annette?
Yeah. Hi, Doctor.
Hi, is Robby there?
Yes, he is. He's sitting right next to me.
Do you have one or two phones?
We have one phone.
Okay, what's the problem, Annette?
Well, I don't know where to start. We've been separated. We separated 5 days after our 3rd anniversary, and it was really bad, to the point where we were screaming and yelling and just... I think he's abusive verbally abusive, because he's always saying I'm making things up and calling me names and saying that he's surprised my old boyfriends didn't beat me up more often, and it didn't start like that.
Did your old boyfriends beat you up?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay. And what goes wrong? What triggers one of these episodes? What's a typical episode like?
He's been unemployed for like a year and a half, and like I would say, like call him up from work and ask him, did you look for a job? And he would freak out on me and say, if you don't quit giving me a hard time or bugging me or nagging me, I'm not even going to bother looking. And which I don't think he did really very much. He worked some, but I paid all the bills for a year and a half. But he wouldn't get me a credit card, and he would like throw in my face, well, you have no credit, and I do, and it's just really stupid stuff. But it's
put him on for a second.
Okay, yeah.
Robby.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How does that sound? What she just said?
Well, when she says abusive, I think that's kind of...
Forget abusive. The fact is that, what is this business with when you telling her she doesn't have any credit?
Well, credit as in credit cards and that kind of thing. I mean, yeah, it's been in my name, and I said that, if we were to split up, that the credit is still remaining in my name.
Well, you changed your tone of voice as you said that, okay? And you put on a whole different mask. And I heard through that, and what I heard was someone who feels very insecure and is grasping at some source of identity, and I think you feel very bad about being unemployed.
No, definitely.
All right.
I do.
But I think that's a very, very major thing, because the fact is that she's the one who's working, right?
Yeah, well, she's unemployed now, though. She just got laid off.
Okay. So you're both in rough straits, but the main thing is you were picking on her and projecting onto her to feel better about yourself, right? Yep, right.
Yeah.
Don't give me a rough time with this. It's as plain as the nose on your face.
Yeah.
All right. So what it is you were using her as a whipping boy when she was actually doing better than you. You put her down because you weren't feeling good about you, and you needed to feel better, so you just put her down, right?
Well, I think that there's an explanation on that.
Well, we don't care.
Because
we don't care. We just want you to establish that that's the truth, right?
For that time, yeah.
Yeah, that's abusive behavior. Do you own that?
Okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And she feels abused. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you that's abusive behavior, period. You're beating her up emotionally for your own weaknesses that you won't face. That's abusive behavior. That's what abusive behavior is, incidentally.
Okay.
Okay? So, tell her you abused her. Now.
I have done that.
Tell her, now. I want to hear it.
I'm sorry I've abused you. I know I said some things I shouldn't have.
What did she say in the back?
She said thank you.
It's important that you know that. I mean, no one says you're a terrible person, but everybody has the capacity to abuse other people, to be blind about their weaknesses, and to take advantage of others. The damage we do to other people is not in the damage we do to them, but in the denial of the damage and insisting that the other person is crazy for thinking what they're thinking when we hurt them. That's all.
Yeah.
In other words, you say, I've been a jerk, I did a stupid thing, I wasn't feeling good about myself, and I picked on you. And it'll say, that's exactly what I was feeling. Thank God I don't feel crazy anymore. But that's the abuse, making the other person feel crazy for the responsibility you will not take. Okay?
But now, how do we get? We're trying to reconcile a marriage.
All right, I'm there. I'm doing the next step.
And it seems like mainly now, we're real close to getting everything back together, but we still have stupid arguments about money.
Well, of course, because that's what this let's call it what it is. That's what this depression is doing to people. It's making them insecure. It's making people who have been brought up to expect a lot for themselves and to have the American dream to feel like failures and to feel like they're worthless because they can barely hold on a job even when they're doing their best work.
Right.
All right? So it's very natural to assume that when the going gets rough, people are going to be rough on each other.
All right.
So what's needed is some love and understanding. And for you in this relationship, can you hear me, Annette?
Yes, you can.
I can hear you good. What the two of you need to be able to say is, she needs to be able to say, you're abusing me, and you say, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I guess I did mean to do that, but I shouldn't have done it, and I'm just so... Sorry. What?
She says she doesn't want sorries.
Sorry means that he recognizes it without you saying, I wasn't abusing you. You just need to be truthful about the hurt that you cause each other. That will make the beginning of the change.
But there's times I feel abused by her in the same manner.
And you feel nagged and pushed upon.
Right.
But when you feel nagged and pushed upon, you then attack her instead of being vulnerable. In other words, instead of saying, boy, that hurt my feelings, you say, you're always nagging, and you're this and that, and you're a jerk for doing that. And do you understand what I'm saying? What you need to do is when a person in a relationship, I'm talking about, when the other person hurts you, stop and you say, boy, that hurt what you just said. I wish you wouldn't say that. That just hurt my feelings terribly. You know I feel out of work and I feel like I'm a little worthless and I always get inadequate when I feel this way, and I didn't feel good about that. That's the change that you make, and that's what makes a relationship work. You say that, she can say, oh, gosh, I'm sorry. Annette, did you hear what I said?
But you know what? I try to do that. Because
no, you
we
don't.
Watch your show, enough times.
I don't think you do. Because I heard the tone in your voice before, and you get in...
each other anymore.
What?
Yeah, we have a big trust problem between each other. Then that's...
And this is the way to get through it, by to begin to entrust each other with the truth of what you're feeling. Express the hurt that you feel towards each other, and the relationship will start to open up again, and you'll have a road on which you can travel to rebuild trust. Dottie. Am I disturbing you?
No, I was just saying goodnight to some of the people who are holding. We're going to try to call them back next week. Some really interesting calls still left.
So, did you like tonight?
Yeah, it's much busier than I used to be.
Well, you weren't working as hard before.
Well, it's different. It's aerobic. I feel like I could lose weight doing this.
I'm glad.
Wait a minute. What do you mean I'm glad?
I'm glad that you don't get so personal.
Okay.
I would insult you in front of everybody. I'd save that for our private moment. But, it's... Did I just say so? Why are they laughing around here? This is a very difficult... Anyhow, it's great to be back, and it's wonderful starting in, and this is going to be a good season.
Yeah, and I love that people have waited for us to come back, proven by all the wonderful calls we had tonight.
So we're back, and it's great talking and seeing you again, and next week we'll be here again and live. Pass the word. See you then.